Hey guys, how you doing? We're out here, as you can see, um, getting some cutting done. Um, we we're running a little bit late tonight. First thing I did, I spent some time doing some testing earlier in regards to cattle, the dairy queens over there. Um, the testing showed that I was doing about 300. It's not that barn, but the barn that I was using was doing. They were feeding at about 375 liters per cow per month, and they were averaging around the 150 liters a month in milk production. Um, I, as you can tell, we're in August. We're 3 months in, I guess you could say. Um, we have to pay our people. We've cut back production momentarily. Um, to concentrate. We've cut back production on certain things momentarily to concentrate on butter and cheese. Um, so bread's not coming out and all that stuff right now. There is flour still being made. As you can tell, if you look over there, that is the eggs, and my oldest daughter have arrived, and currently Uh, I'll show you where I'm staying at because there's not enough room in the house for all of these people and me. Um, when I started this farm, all I wanted was a little bit of peace and quiet. It's a real sad day when you have to leave your own house and basically set up a cot somewhere else. But, you know, it is what it is. Um, so we replanted this in meadow. Um, it's I left some edges. Let me show you that real quick before I go too far. I left some edging around of grass. Well, you can't really see it now, but you can make out the little green bits right here. That was showing orange to let me know that the grass was ready to harvest, and I'm going to keep that so that I know when to actually harvest the the grass, the meadow grass, because it's not like it. I mean, it's not like it's growing to where I can tell. Um, it looks like I'm going to have to buy another mower to be able to get certain parts of this done in regards to the edges. Some of the edges looks like I might have to buy another mower to cut that certain parts of that grass down because we want all of it, every single drop. Um, right now we have 160,000 liters of TMR by my calculations, running at 100 and I think we're running at 11,250 liters of TMR per month for the 30 cows that we currently have in the Dairy Queen barn. By doing that, that means we're going to need, we got August, September, October, November, and December left. So we got 5 months left. That's 56,000 odd liters of TMR we're going to need. Part of the problem is that even though in our testing it was showing we should be turning over about 4,500 liters of milk, which would equate to 150 liters per cow. We're not quite getting that out of this barn that we currently have. I think we're getting 3,700 or so. It's a little on the low side. So After this cut, once we see what we can get as far as the amount of grass slash hay slash silage, we may be turning part of this field on the other side of that pig barn into another Dairy Queen barn. There's something in Crustu's challenge that says if you can make your apparently flowers and chocolate for your sweetheart. I think we might be able to do the chocolate. I'm not sure about the flowers. I'm gonna have to look more into that. Are we going to make this year's requirement? That is a very, very good question, and I still don't have an answer. We are pulling out all stops to try and get enough milk into our productions to get our butter and our cheese up. Will it work? I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking I'm going to have to put in another dairy barn just to make sure. Well, I'm messing this all up, talking and not paying attention. I think we're going to have to put in, like, the hard yards, put in another dairy barn. Go ahead and make that happen. And ensure that this year we are without a doubt able to get our 5,000 liters of milk plus the 10 pallets of cheese and butter that is required. If we can put out, we got 5 months left. If we can put in another barn, and I'll put the one in, if I put the one in that I used from in my other save, and we can get 4,500 liters of milk every month, we should be able to produce enough to get us over the finish line. Barely. Like, that's if our productions can keep up. Right now, I have, like I said, I have changed all the productions over to basically only doing cheese and butter. We're out of milk down there right now because I literally said, everybody move over. We got to get this done. I don't know if I mentioned it. Maya, who is our baker, lovely young lady, she's not happy about that because well, basically I did hire her specifically for baking. She's asked me to allow her to have a bakery. I have told her that I would give that consideration. That's my little hut right now that I'm living in, right? Right there. We barbecued last night. I mean, what's the use in having beef cattle if you can't barbecue, right? But that's my peace and quiet right now. So yeah. She, like I said, she did bring me some, she even made up a couple of morning breakfast sandwich biscuits for me, breakfast biscuits for me. And, boy, I tell you, those biscuits will melt in your mouth. I ain't even gonna lie about that. So we're looking at putting up a new Dairy Queen barn, putting up a bakery, getting more cattle, getting more Dairy Queens, and doing everything in our power to make it to where we have 10 pallets of butter and cheese by the end of this year. We have got everything else done. All the other requirements are met. Um, in fact, we're already on track to meet next year's requirements in some areas, like rice. We've already got all the rice we need for next year. That's 10,000 liters of it. It's been produced and sitting in storage. We are currently canning carrots and beetroot and parsnips. I don't know why anybody would eat those canned, but hey, I didn't create the challenge. I'm just trying to make it. I mean, if it was the only food I could eat, like if that was the only thing around, yes, sir, you can bet your sweet butt I would be cracking open a can of one of them, eating on it. Next year, as far as mushrooms go, I think we'll be pretty good with those, but I am going to increase production and hire somebody else or shift someone from one greenhouse to another one, or a couple of them from one greenhouse to another. Our two large greenhouses are producing pretty good. I figured out why I was getting 4 pallets of sorghum from one large greenhouse and only like 2 from the other one, and that's because like I've got both of them on sorghum, but one's producing 4 pallets and the other one's producing 2, and I'm like, wait, what is going on here? And then I realized that I had put manure in one, and I had put manure in the other one, but forgot to switch it over to sorghum with manure. So, yeah, the one that only does water, like if you only use water with it in the large, it will only produce 2,000 liter, or is it 1,000 liter pallets of sorghum. If you put manure in there with it, it's gonna go a little righteous on you and start producing more. Next year, the oldest has informed me that due to certain circumstances beyond anybody's control, that she will be moving up here. I have informed her that that's fine. I understand the circumstances around it aren't the greatest, so I'm going to have to come up with $25,000 to help cover some of her expenses, plus build a barn, plus put more cows in, plus put up with the eggs some more, blah blah blah. You know, I told both of them that they were going to have to start helping out around here, because, you know, I'm getting on up in age, and, you know, I can't do everything I used to do. Well, I can, but it just takes longer. So they're going to have to take a little responsibility around here. I mean, and if they like living here, which the youngest has said she really enjoyed it, it's like, well, you don't do anything, so of course you're enjoying it. So she has said that she will help Maya in the bakery once it's built. Still thinking something's going on there. I'm not really sure, because she was saying something about Maya and her bringing fruits and, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, she's just a good person. And she's like, well, you know, Dad, you could ask her out. And it's like, she's 15 years my junior. Girl, you need to just be worried about you. You know what I'm saying? You just need to worry about you. And if you really like living here, you need to start learning what's going on here, so that, you know, you can actually be able to do this if something happens to me. And she's like, well, if you quit running around in a Mahindra, it's like, look, I bought the Mahindra. I didn't think y'all were going to be moving back in. And if I want to go out and play in the Mahindra and roll it over or put it on a shed or whatever else I feel like doing, guess what? I'm adult enough to be able to do that. And if you don't like it, well, that's just tough. It is what it is. She didn't seem too happy about that, but then again, she's my kid, and I told her she'd get over it. The oldest has said that she's more than happy to jump on a tractor and stuff like that. I told her that tractor-wise, um, about the only thing we were doing at this particular stage in the game is cutting hay and silage, and that for the most part I didn't need her on a tractor, but I could use her in the in the barn over here with the dairy queens, keep an eye on their feed and everything else. And once we get the other barn up, she could do that too. You know, kind of help out. And the oldest grandkid has decided that he wants to learn about farming, and you know, once we get ourselves to the point where we can self-sustain and make sure that we can take care of all these extra people I suddenly have on my property, minus the ex-wife, then yeah, we'll start replanting this, and you know, we might cut back on the cattle a little bit. We actually might turn around and even turn, you know, one of these fields into a pasture, and you know, start raising beef cattle in earnest, and see how we go there. The dairy, yeah, that's causing me a bunch of headaches. So once we get the other barn up, see how we do, we'll see what the production looks like and everything. We may pull down one of those Dairy Queens barns and turn it into something else. But for now, as you can tell, we are out here. We're sun is shining, 65 degrees. I'm hoping we'll get another cut off this in November. For the time being, I'm going to try to do a half and half type of thing. We're going to create half hay, or maybe even 2/3 hay and the rest in silage. And we are getting straw from our greenhouses. That is extremely helpful because, quite frankly, we need straw. For TMR, of course, for the mixture. And then, of course, we also need that for our barns so that we can collect manure, which will then go into our greenhouses and all that nifty stuff. I've been eyeballing the barn. It's about $40,000 for the new Dairy Queen barn I'm looking at. It does have slurry, which is useful because we don't actually have that. And that's always useful to fertilize with, and will save us a little bit in regards to how much we're spending on fertilizer. Although, in saying that, we haven't really been using a whole lot of fertilizer since we basically switched over to mostly just greenhouses doing our crops. And yeah, we haven't really done a lot. I mean, we haven't really had time to do fertilizing contracts because we're constantly worried about the... Let me take a deep breath. Because we're constantly worried about the amount of milk that's coming out of the Dairy Queen barn. So we've been more focused elsewhere than just on crops. So we're going to buy another mower. I love this mower. It does really fantastic. It gets us through this really quickly. But there is a slight problem. We can't seem to get down into the ditch very well. And we're leaving hay on the ground here. That's not acceptable to me. This I can't have it. So we're going to go off and buy another mower. specifically for those areas so that we can mow them and be able to collect them. We're also going to grab another windrower, a smaller one, so that we can use it to go around the edges and edge the grass back into the field. I don't think James will be too upset with me leaving this here for a little bit. So let's pop in and see what we've got in the for sale. What is this? This is a hoe. Yeah, I don't think we need that. Um, yeah, I don't think we need that. A 6610. 6610? Hang on a minute. What can it go to? 102. No. Love those old tractors, but no. So no, we don't have anything in here we can use. Let's pop down to grasslands. Have a look in here. Would that do the trick, do you think? I think it would. I, hmm. How wide is this? 3.9 meters. Would that do the trick? Maybe, maybe. Let's see, what else have we got here? No, we really don't need those. That's a bat wing. 7 meters. No. Because this, well, 7 meters, I mean, that's 7.2, that's 6.2. Does a fantastic job. Maybe this one. It's 1.8 wide though. I don't know. Wait, that's 3.4. What is this? Let's have a look, see. I think we have a winner here. That should, wait, let's see. What is this? It's a mower. That's a mower? What? I am so confused. Okay, okay. I'm seeing it now. All right. Okay, no. What would this would be go on the front. I think this would go on the front. Yeah. And we don't have anything that will do that. None of our trucks will do that. I mean, tractors. That's 3.5 meters wide. Swath plate. Right? Swath plate? What is this? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe one day we'll buy that and actually figure out what it does. Um, I think those are all front mounted. So I think that's 1.8, that's 3.4, and that is 3.9. I think we're going to go with this one. Yeah, I think we'll go with that one. We're going to make it, where is it? New Holland Blue. Yep, we're going to do that. And we will buy that. Okay. Then we're going to go back into grasslands. We're going to look for windrower. And what we need is just a small, that would probably work. Let's look. 3.4, that is 4.7. That is 3.6. 3.4, 3.6. I mean, we don't need anything huge. 4.7, 8.4. So I think we will go with I think we'll go with this one. I think that's the one we'll go with. Tarpaulin, I don't know what that is. Warning triangles, I ain't worried about it. None of that. So we will purchase that. Yes. All right. Now, time to go pick up our mower, and we will test it out on the edges over here and see if we can't get those done. And then after that, it'd been nice to be able to paint that little windrower blue, but you know, it is what it is. All right, let's pick that up, and then let's go over here. I mean, it's pretty sad that I have to pick this up for one freaking area. One. All right, let's lower this. I mean, this should do it, right, guys? I mean, I think it will. Well, seems like she's doing it. Let's make sure we can get up in there. Oh, yeah. She's taking care of business. All right. Very nice. Oh, we can't hit that. Okay. Let's see if we can get back down in here. Well, I need that too. You gotta cut it. All right. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna cut some of it. And we'll have to get a better angle on it. I probably should have smoothed this out better when I was originally doing all the smoothing and landscaping type stuff. But now this is what we got to work with. So, you know, that's what we got to do. All right. Looks like we got most of it. And we got this little bit down here, and then we'll have to go back to the other end, or go back the other direction, and make sure that we've got all of it. Okay, let's lift that up. All right, we'll run back through here, see if we missed any. Yep, there's some right there. Stop. Drop it. Wait, is it on? Yeah, looks like it's on. Okay, that looks like it's taking care of that. See if we can get up here and deal with this. And that, yep. There seems to be a little bit left up here. Right. A little T, isn't it? How we doing? And don't hit that. Let's try to back up. Make sure it would take some of this out. Okay, so we've got that little bit right there left. And on the other side of this, well, I mean, it did cut some of it. Oh, it got all of it. Wow. Okay. This is so much easier than trying to get it with that batwing. Let's see here. I think we've got all this, except for some of this that's up on the very edge. Yeah, we'll go up here. See if it'll get it. And it looks like it got some of it. Did it get this? It did. Huh. Okay. We'll go figure. Alright, so that should be it. We're going to drop this back over here for the time being. I had a chat to the guys, and they were like, yeah, until you can get things figured out, if you need to, you can, you know, store a couple of pieces of equipment here in the corner. Very appreciative of these guys doing that for me. I bought them, well, I bought them barbecue, And they seem to be happy about that. So yeah, we're not going to say what else we bought them because yeah, probably shouldn't do that here. But let's just say that they were feeling very well, they weren't really feeling any pain. We'll say that. All right, so we should be able to start from this direction. I think this is the way this is going to work. We're about to find out. Here we go. All right, so we're putting that back into there. Hang on a minute. We're really going to have to make sure any little bit of this is back up in this area. And did we leave any in here? Looks like we did. It spit a little bit out. All right, we'll just do this. We'll run right on the edge, right in the center of it. And yeah, looks like we're making some headway here. That's wonderful. As long as we don't hit this. Well, if we do, then you know it is what it is. And then we'll swing back down in. Get back out on the edge. Ain't none of them trying to stop now. There's one earlier that did. Oh, no, no, no. Gotta get back here. All that out of the ditch. Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to be doing this for a little bit, it looks like. So what I'll do is I'll pause this, or pause the recording, jump to the next bit when we get finished up with cleaning up the mess we made, because you know there is one good thing one thing I am pretty good at is making a mess. I'm also pretty decent at cleaning it up since, well, if you make it, when I was growing up, if you made a mess, my dad anyway, I don't know about everybody else, is like, you did it, you fix it. So, yeah. Anyway, we will be back, gentlemen. Well, yeah, finally finished up, mostly. We're dropping our last one of the silage bales that we made. So, I believe we got 17 silage bales off that. We'll do a full count here in a minute. Right now, I'm going to put this back. And then, these little short things like this always give me grief. Well, I mean, if I'd have wanted it close to the John Deere thing, I did a good job on that one, but I actually wanted it closer to here. And, I think that'll be about right there. Let's see. Alright, so we got it seems that our theory, in regards to the, meadow grass that we planted, seems that theory that it actually puts out more grass, produces more, whatever you want to call it, is absolutely correct. As I said, we put that down the other day, or was it yesterday? Day before? I don't remember. One of these days seem to be running together with me right now. See if can we dump any here? No, okay. We won't leave that running. We'll turn that off. I gotta clean up some pallets around here. Where's my Mahindra? There it is. Alright. Grab this. X is still here. Alright, let's go up and get our old school truck and grab some of these bales and see about doing something with them. We'll be making some TMR later on. Later on. Um, that'll be off screen. um, all right. Get up in here. Um, but it definitely brought off more. I mean, as you can see, there are a lot of bales out here. Um, the last one, I think we got 14. We got, yeah, I believe it was 14 bales of hay we got off of just the grass fields that we had planted. I'd say there's a lot more than 14 out here. But for now, drop the tailgate and hook up, raise the tailgate, and then we need to do, I think it's Control Shift R if I remember right. And that should actually auto collect these bales. Yep, there we go. So let's get this started. Um, it's funny it's not showing what we're putting on the trailer. Interesting. Maybe I need to lock it down with the tension belts or whatever they're called. All right. Well, that's almost 6 there. That'd be 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oop, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and yes, I missed one. Well, we'll just push that one around. I lost count. Don't want to pick those up just yet. I'd prefer to get all of these and go ahead and set them up so I can start doing TMR. So I can do my TMR mix I like to do. I think this one's got the universal on it. That cow keeps getting further and further out of that barn. We're going to have a chat, girl. I might have to close the barn door or something. I don't know what's going on. Alright, so I think we're maxed out now. So we still got more left. We'll run past if it picks it up. No, it ain't gonna pick it up. Okay. So we'll put this out here. Left side, right side. Okay, that's 192,000. That's over double what we got off just grass fields. So, yeah, guys, this is crazy. I think it's the right side we want. There we go. Right side it is. Excellent. Now we'll go pick up those other bales. I think I actually have to hit the Control Left Shift R again to get it to do the automatic Controls Left Shift R. Let's see. I think that's the way it works. Once you unload it, I think you have to do it again to make it happen. I believe that's it. So it's 192,000. Well, that's 18,000 on there right now. So that's what, 200 and that's 210,000? Is that right? 192,000 and 18,000? I mean, it sounds right. Getting late in the afternoon or late at night, so my math could be off, but I think that's about right. So that is much more accurate with what we initially pulled off of the field to begin with. So um, I think that we could probably at this point do um, one of these fields in something else besides grass. We are about to lose part of this field right down here. I'll show you what I was thinking here in a minute. I think we'll go this way and come in and put it off to the right this way. That way they're all kind of set up and ready to go. Um, See if I can get this right. Okay. I did not want to do that. So to unload, I need to do that. You know what? Close enough. Close enough. All right. So we'll go into our build menu real quick. All right. So right here, this little, whoop, a little bit too much. All right. So I'm thinking about cutting it off right about here. And in our cow barns, and yes, I went on a spree looking for cows or cow barns. Um, I did, huh? 82,000. Wait, this no. We can actually. What does that give us? Milk, slurry. That's food. That's the number of. Oops. Let's look here. Yeah. That's the pets. Well, I haven't tested that one, so I'm not really sure. These are these three are actually breeding barns. Um, this thing is just massive, and I haven't found um, a milk trigger on this thing anywhere. So it appears that it is only beef cattle. This thing is, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about, I'm planning another series, one in which I'm going to be doing sort of like a beef baron type thing. This thing would be perfect for it because it's massive, and it reminds me a lot of like when I was growing up. You had this so that you could bring the cows through and load them up on the trailers, and you had the. I'm just yeah. It reminds me a lot of stuff when I was growing up, many moons ago. Now see, that's the barn we actually have right over there. Um, and then there's this barn. Keeps 15 in it. Then there's this one I thought about, but again, I couldn't. There's a milk trigger over there. Um, Thing was, is I kept looking, and then there's, or I think, was it this one? I think it was this one. Um, that's the milk trigger. That's the slur. Okay, no, I don't think it was that one. Was it this one? I don't know what that thing is. Um, it was either this one. I thought it was this one, but it was another one that had the slurry. Yeah, the slurry wasn't on this side, it was on this side. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, this is the one I was using. It gives you the ability to use 50 cattle. So I was thinking about putting it right about here, I think. Right about somewhere up in here. Then putting an additional manure pile or extension on it, like a silo extension on it. I did look through to see about extensions for slurries. It's got a decent sized slurry. Part of the problem with that is that it fills up. So, but yeah, I'm looking at doing this one. You have to blow in the straw, but that's not a problem. We can get a blower. And like I said, it holds 50 cows. I'm thinking I might use this because it has a very big, you can put 23,000 liters, I think it is, of feed in it. Even so, with 35 cattle, you still better have your feed wagon sit right beside it, basically. Um, so yeah, I think we might go with that one. I don't know. I kind of like. I need. I don't know what that loading party is right there. Um, whoops. There is a gate to get in there, so maybe that's where you pick up the manure. I don't know. There's like two gates at the end here. Um, is there milk? There's milk here. I might have to go into my other. I was hoping I could look inside it, but apparently not. Just to see what was in this. Yeah, I may have to go into my other save and have a look at these two. I mean, this one looks kind of cool. But it only holds 25. Um, slurry drops from the top. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then we actually picked, I think, yeah, that was this is the old Australian milk shed here, which I thought was kind of cool. I may use that in in one of my other adventures. I don't know yet, but I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know some of my videos have been going for a while. But yeah, this is what we're going to do next. We're going to get one of these after I test it, make sure it does what I need it to, and it's going to go in this area. Then I'm either going to cut out an area up in here, or I may use up some of this area here, like cut this off and use some of this area. I have to try to find a bakery that isn't like where is it? There's one in here. I thought, oh, it looks kind of cool. Excuse me. This one, and then it's like, holy crap, that thing is huge. No, we don't want something that big, you know. And then I thought, well, maybe there's another one down here, and then there's this. The only thing I don't like about it is that, I mean, I saw Krusty using this in his playthrough of his challenge, and wasn't producing very fast. But we do have production control, which allows us to kind of tinker with that. But um, and I think there's another one. Um, I mean, we could do the addable triggers. There's one for the bakery here, so we could do this. Um, and then maybe try to see if we could find a shed or something that we could put it in, and you know what I mean. Um, I mean, like this little farmed area is cool. Like if that was a bakery, that would be fantastic. But then you know, like I said, you look around, and I haven't been able to find a lot of bakeries, and the ones I have been able to find, yeah. I think I could have swore there was a nut. I think this is it. Yeah, this is the one, and it has with shed option, so you can actually customize it and put a shed over it. However, what I'm thinking is using this, trying to see if I can go into Mod Hub and find a shed that would fit this. Like I'm not gonna like you could put it in this shed. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could put it in here. Obviously without all the extras that are already in there. But if I could find a, a shed that wasn't like 500 miles huge, look at this, 10 grand. I could fit 8 bakeries in there. Jesus. Um, you know, see, still, nope. Mm, maybe, maybe, I don't know. Um, I was planning on using that for something at some point. I like the way it looked. I think, well, I'll go ahead and tell you. I'm planning on a survival challenge over on the survival 4x, just like Daggerwin and Chainsaw are using, and Krusty was doing it as well. But mine's going to have, um, there's a few things I'm going to implement, like um, you have X amount of money. I haven't made up my mind on how much, but it's not going to be tons. It's going to be like you have enough money, you have a loan that you bought the land with. You have an extra, I'm going to say somewhere between 50 to 100,000 max that you can get basic equipment. It has to be pre 2000 equipment as best as possible. It can't be over a certain horsepower for the first year or two. Um, it can't be over a certain horsepower at all, no matter how long you run it. And I'm looking at doing like you'll have forestry, you'll be able to do basically anything you want, but it's going to be more of a homestead to whatever you want. But it's not going to take place in 3 years. It's going to take space over. It's going to take over a certain period of years. Like you'll start out in year 5. Like you won't be able to take out any loans, so forget about it. There's no loans for the first 7 years. You will not be able to take loans. Um, After 7 years, because technically you're establishing a homestead slash business, right? So you won't be able to take out any loans for at least the first 7 years. If your bank account, if you haven't paid off your loan, if you're not in good standing, if you haven't been in the black for the last 7 years, you won't be able to take out a loan. Now, this is something that you would have to control yourself. Like, I can't, nobody can make the game do that. Um, Once your land is paid off and everything else is on, basically, you can you can kind of put your land back up as collateral to get another loan, but only within how much you paid for the land. That's it. So you can't go get a $1 million loan. You know what I'm saying? Um, Obviously, you would have to take improvements into consideration, etc., and so on. So anyway, the financial side aside, you would also have to look at being somewhat English. There is English, somewhat self-sustaining. However, I'm not going to say, in the first year you have to put out 1,000 liters of milk. I don't think you can drink by yourself 1,000 liters of milk in a year. I really don't. Um, Now, if you wanted to do 1,000 liters of milk slash butter slash cheese total, okay, that's different. Unfortunately, the game doesn't allow you to break it down like that. Um, but I'm still thinking through all of the extra parts of it that I'm wanting to implement. Obviously, I've gone astray again. Why do you guys let me keep doing that? Jeez, I don't know what to think about you. You're supposed to keep me on focused here and on track. Oh man, I don't know what to think about you guys. It's going to be a bit of a role play type thing as well. Like I'm trying to throw some role play into this playthrough. Um, I'll keep trying to do so. It. I like to think of myself as somewhat creative occasionally, but even I have mental blocks. Of course, I'm older, so I'm allowed to do that. Or okay, I might not be allowed, but I'm saying I'm allowed to because I'm old. Anyway, like I said, I've been trying to look for something like this, maybe, and then take and put that bakery inside of it if I possibly can. Because I think that would be better, but that's huge for a bakery. Um, I don't think that would work. Um, so yeah, I've got to go playing around on. See, this is just too massive. Jeez. Um, I've got to go look on. That wouldn't be too bad, but you know, I mean, yeah. Actually, that could be a house slash bakery slash parking area. Um, See, I don't think yeah, you couldn't fit a bakery in that one. That one's way too big. Um, no, no. Oh, no. Um, so like I said, I've got to go look for small sheds. Um, and hopefully be able to find one that will fit the picture I have in my head of a bakery type thing. Um, it's like old time shed pack. I don't know about you guys, but me growing up, I never saw a shed that looked like that. Never. Not once in my lifetime. I live in the South. You're not going to see a shed like this. You might see a shed like this, though. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even that, no, we ain't that rich. Um, Something similar to that, but one end's closed in or something like that. See, now that wouldn't be too bad, I guess. But in a shed, if you're going to do a bakery stall, yeah, you would want at least part of it to be enclosed. Um, I don't know. Tell me what you think, guys. I mean, oh, I like that. That's kind of nice. I like the weathered look on that one. Um, yeah, tell me what you think. Jesus, that's huge. Tell me what you think. What would you advise? You know what I mean? Uh, oof, things driving me nuts. And have you done anything similar? Have you tried it yourselves? Um, help me out a little bit here. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. I have a lot of TMR that I'm about to make up. Then I have to go through hunting down a bakery. Then I have to go through putting up a new cow barn. I have to move all of my pallets, get them where they need to be. Um, got to feed the cow some more. Got to see if I can get that cow to go back in that blasted barn. Um, and yeah, all this got to go to TMR. I've still got more in here I need to get out. So it's going to be a little bit of a busy night for me, guys. Um, I, I have to say, people like Daggerwin and Chainsaw and Rusty and Crustu and all these other guys that do these videos with Farming Simulator and other games as well that do recordings. Um, I never really sat down and thought about um, how much they do in the background. You know what I mean? Like you and me always like I'm saying me because I literally just started messing around with this. But you and me only get to see the snippets of time. Um, I have over 80 hours in this save, and you know, I'm not even anywhere near where I want to be. Like, I did all this decoration and stuff. I was planning to continue it on all the way down here. Um, but I am so caught up attempting to get everything situated and trying to get um, enough milk and butter and cheese and have these producing and trying to have them producing fairly, not like overboard. It's like I was kind of freaking out when I noticed that this this one was making more than this one. And I was I'm thinking, wait, I've got the production set the same. You know, why is this making more? What have I done? And like I went through it and I was like, I don't understand. And then I looked up and I saw manure. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did put manure in this one. Did I put manure in the other one? Oh, I did. Wait, the other one's not producing manure, but this one is. Okay, well that's reasonable because it has manure. I mean, manure is fertilizer. The other one doesn't, so it's going to produce slower than this one. Um, I did give consideration taking the manure out because it's kind of producing more than I thought it would. Um, but I mean, it's not producing huge amounts. But then again, I guess it is. I mean, like I had all of these, every one of these that could produce sorghum because I was freaking out so bad about the bread. I switched everything over to sorghum that I could possibly switch over. Now this one is, yeah, that's 2,000 liters. Even with manure, I think that might be pushing a little bit. So I'll probably do hmm, I'll probably pull, yeah, I'll probably pull one of these off, and then I'll probably pull, because four, I might be able to understand, but I think we'll pull three out of the way. We will store these two and we'll store those two. And I think we're going to switch these to just run this one running to only water. and then that would be more reasonable. I mean, it is a large greenhouse. Now, the way it's made, if you look at it, to me, they waste a lot of space, because I can tell you right now, there would be a raised bed all the way. There would be no space whatsoever. I mean, it would be crammed in. I ain't even playing. Both sides. This right here, I don't know exactly what that is, compost or whatever. That'd be outside. There'd be another door back here. You can go out that way and throw out the compost. We're not wasting space. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, just ain't gonna happen. But to me, that's a lot of wasted space. And it's just like this, you know, that's wasted space. That in the middle, wasted space. You've got two doors. Why would you need a crossway in there? You don't. I mean, you have windows in the top so that you can get some type of a cross breeze or whatever you want to call it. Why do you need to waste space? Look, that is wasted space right there. I don't care what you say. It is not efficient at all. Just like this. Why is that door open? I don't know. Why is this open? Why? I don't understand. You could actually put another rack right in here. Small one. But if you half that and put it right there, another one right there, same. Half this, about a third of it, put that right in the middle. Another row right here. Another row right here. You would get a lot more going. I mean, it just looks too open. It's too open for my taste. Um, one of these days, I might learn how to do mods, and I'm gonna build a freaking greenhouse. I'm also gonna build a cow barn that's actually a cow barn that these guys can't get out of. I hope. Knowing my luck though, I'll build one, and all these suckers, you'll buy them, and they'll be outside and can't get in. That'd be my luck. But anyway, guys, appreciate you joining. Appreciate you taking the time to come around and have a look and watch us uh, attempting to to do this challenge and actually, you know, have some fun and show you guys kind of how we think and all that nifty stuff. Um, I got to build another house, um, as well as this barn, this other cow barn, and a bakery. And you know, yeah, you look up at my account and I got $579,000 in it. But here's the problem. I'm 2 months behind. Well, I'm 1 month behind on paying. Um, yeah, I'm 1 month behind on paying employee wages. Technically two, or is it three? You know what? I think it's three. I need to keep up with that. Sadly, um, I know I paid. I know I paid it, and then I ran 2 months, and then I just went another month. So yes, we are three behind. Wow, this is gonna hurt, guys. I ain't even gonna lie. So right now, if I remember correctly, we're paying out something like $48,000 a month. Let me look over at my notes, and we'll add these up real quick just to make sure we are accurate with that number. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's those two that are in the spot. Yeah, okay, so that's another one. And then there's the large greenhouses, of course, sure. Um, both of those. And then, of course, we have the guys that are working down there. So we got another couple of those. And yeah, that's $48,000 a month. I'm gonna write that down just so because sometimes I forget. It's $48,000 a month that we're paying in employee wages, and we're 3 months behind. So that's $144,000 that we owe them. So we're about to see 144,000 go bye bye. So the bank account doesn't look quite as good as we thought it did. um, so yeah, guys, now I've got to get down here. I think I might be selling off some of this, um, like some of the, obviously not the ones that I pulled aside, but the four that I have of sorghum. Those are all right over there because they're 1,000 liters each. And that's actually at, I think, 50% production. But I think I have manure in both of those as well. And then we have wood to sell and a few. I think we'll sell all our wood chips. We've got 25 pallets of them. Probably more because the sawmill has been producing and I haven't actually been looking at it for the last couple months. But anyway, so we'll get out of here, let you get on your way to doing whatever you're going to do, or going to bed, or watching something else, or whatever it is. I appreciate your time and your patience while I learn the ins and outs and all that of this game and being on YouTube. And yeah, guys, if you like something, hit that like. If not, let me know, please. I greatly appreciate it. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Are these too long? Like, are the videos too long, too short? I don't know. Is there anything particular you'd like to see? Am I not doing something that you prefer? Do you prefer that I do, like when I do the hay or whatever? Would you prefer to see time lapses instead of jump cuts? You know, these things, if you can just let me know, I'd greatly appreciate it. Something that will help you enjoy watching these videos. Other than that, you take care of yourselves. I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me. And we will. This video is late because I had a few things that had to be taken care of today. Um, Tomorrow, hopefully, I will have this out earlier. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Have a great evening, morning, whatever it is when you're watching this. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch up with you later.